I would say it's been very, very gratifying. I was not allowed to read comic books when I was young. My parents were quite strict about that. That wasn't even considered a form of literature. It was, it was tissue in which to wrap fish. So I didn't know about comics in the way that I was to learn about them. And it's hilarious to me in some ways because a large part of the great fun that I've had doing this work has been because I've gotten the opportunity to be involved in the comic world. So to come to, and I'll give you an example. When I was cast, of course, the secrecy and everything, I couldn't say what it was that I was doing, but I told my son that I had gone in, that I didn't know what the role was or anything, but that I felt good about just the material that I had to audition with. And then a couple months later, I found out the name of the character. And so when I could, I mentioned it to my son, and he lost his cookies in a way that he's a fairly easygoing young man, pretty temperate, but he couldn't accept that I was not aware of exactly how significant this was. And all I knew was I loved the character, I loved the idea, I loved that these comic creators had done this story. Once again, a story that echoed, mirrored something that a tragic moment in American medical history involving the Tuskegee experiment on Black men and syphilis. So yes, I loved him, but I had no idea until I became more steeped in the lore and understood really what he represented, and that they had tackled this kind of material in the way they did. So it gave me a greater sense of the importance of the character, and that it was gratifying to see that people responded to him.
You've mentioned how secretive the scripts are around Marvel. Is it a case of you have to go into a locked room, watched by security? You can read the script, and then you can't take it with you, and it's blue writing on blue paper and all this sort of thing?
No, but I kind of like that idea. No, I mean, with the electronic protections that we have now, there are ways for us to get a hold of the scripts, and the mails are still delivering. So yeah, they get the material to you, and it's impressed upon you that you're responsible for keeping this secret. And I know a lot of my friends sometimes think I'm being hyper cautious or something, but I think the secrecy is part of the fun of it. The fact that you're putting something together, and when it's finished and you present it, that's it. And so it enjoys a birth in a way that I think it can't if everybody's talking about it and giving their opinion. I mean, it might be, by the time you got to the actual film, you might be exhausted. I think this is, and it's a little tedious sometimes, because yes, I'd love to tell you all about the fun I had and some of the things that I did. But then the other beauty is that, once you do the work and it goes away, yes, there was a script. You may or may not have seen all of it. Yes, there's an idea. Things are filmed, but things are also refilmed. And once they have a document they're happy with, then it begins to test. So it's a process. And I think I like I like the idea of participating in the process.
That's